Have you ever woken up after what felt like a full night's sleep, only to drag yourself out of bed feeling just as tired as when you closed your eyes? If you're over 60, you're not alone. So many of us assume that feeling worn out in the morning is just part of getting older. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? The truth is, your body's needs change as you age, and sometimes the habits that used to work for you don't serve you the same way anymore. The good news? A few simple adjustments can make a world of difference. In this video, we'll talk about 5 key fixes that can help you wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to take on the day. Now, let's start with the first and often most overlooked reason you might be waking up tired: your sleep environment. You see, as we get older, we tend to become more sensitive to things like light, noise, and even temperature. Maybe you've always slept with a little light creeping in from the hallway, or perhaps your bedroom is a bit too warm. These small things might not have bothered you in your 40s or 50s, but now they could be the very reason you're not getting the deep, restorative sleep your body craves. Here's what you can do. First, make your room as dark as possible. Blackout curtains are a great investment, but even a simple sleep mask can work wonders. Next, think about noise. If outside sounds, like traffic or early morning birds, tend to wake you up, try a white noise machine or a fan to create a soothing background hum. And finally, keep your bedroom cool. Experts say the ideal sleeping temperature is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. A cooler room helps your body naturally drop into deeper sleep. Now, the second big reason you might be waking up tired: what you're drinking or not drinking before bed. You've probably heard that caffeine too late in the day can keep you up, but did you know that even that afternoon cup of coffee could still be affecting you at bedtime? Caffeine can stay in your system for up to 8 hours, so if you're having tea or soda in the late afternoon, it might be time to rethink that habit. But it's not just about what you shouldn't drink, it's also about what you should. Dehydration can actually make you feel more fatigued, and as we age, our sense of thirst isn't as sharp as it used to be. Try sipping on a glass of water in the evening. Not so much that you'll be up all night for bathroom trips, but enough to keep you hydrated. Herbal teas like chamomile can also be a great way to wind down without the caffeine. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you: your bedtime routine, or maybe the lack of one. We all know kids thrive on routines, but guess what? So do adults, especially as we get older. Your body loves predictability. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, yes, even on weekends, helps regulate your internal clock. That means you'll fall asleep more easily and wake up feeling more refreshed. But here's the thing. It's not just about when you go to bed, but how you prepare for it. If you're spending your evenings scrolling through your phone or watching intense TV shows, your brain doesn't get the signal that it's time to wind down. Instead, try reading a book, a real one, not an e-reader with bright light, listening to calming music, or even doing some gentle stretches. These small changes tell your body, hey, it's time to relax, making it easier to drift off and stay asleep. Now that we've covered your sleep environment, what you're drinking, and the importance of a calming bedtime routine, let's move on to something just as important: how what you eat in the evening could be affecting your sleep. Before we proceed, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. You know, we often focus so much on when we eat that we forget what we eat plays just as big a role in how we sleep. If you've ever gone to bed after a big, heavy meal and tossed and turned all night, you already know this firsthand. But it's not just about portion size. The types of foods you eat in the evening can either set you up for deep, restful sleep or leave you staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. Let's start with the biggest culprit: spicy or acidic foods. Now, I love a good spicy dish as much as anyone, but here's the problem. Foods with a lot of heat or acidity can trigger heartburn, especially when you lie down. And if you've ever felt that burning sensation creeping up your chest in the middle of the night, you know how quickly it can ruin your sleep. If you're prone to heartburn, Try cutting out spicy foods, citrus, or tomato-based sauces at least a few hours before bed. Then, there's sugar. That late-night cookie or bowl of ice cream might feel like a comforting way to end the day, but sugar can actually cause blood sugar spikes and crashes, which can wake you up in the middle of the night. Instead, if you need a little something sweet, try a small handful of nuts or a banana. They contain magnesium and potassium, which can actually help relax your muscles and prepare your body for sleep. But here's the real game changer: protein. A lot of people don't realize that not getting enough protein during the day can leave you feeling weak and fatigued, even after a full night's sleep. As we age, our bodies don't process protein as efficiently, so we need more of it to maintain muscle and energy. Try adding a little lean protein to your dinner, like grilled chicken, fish, or even a plant-based option like lentils. It keeps your blood sugar stable and helps repair your body overnight, so you wake up feeling stronger. Now let's talk about something that might not seem directly related to sleep at first: your daytime movement. You might be thinking, I'm tired when I wake up. Why would I want to talk about exercise? But here's the thing: the way you move or don't move during the day has a huge impact on how well you sleep at night. Think of it like this: your body is designed to work in cycles of activity and rest. If you don't give it enough activity, it doesn't feel the need for deep rest. Now, I'm not saying you need to start running a long race or lifting heavy weights. In fact, too much intense exercise too close to bedtime can actually make it harder to sleep. But gentle, consistent movement like walking, swimming, or even light stretching can do wonders. A 20-minute walk in the morning or early afternoon helps regulate your body's natural rhythms, making it easier to fall asleep at night. Plus, it boosts circulation, which means more oxygen flows to your brain and muscles, helping you feel more energized during the day and sleep more soundly at night. And here's a little secret: one of the best things you can do for your sleep is something as simple as getting sunlight first thing in the morning. Natural light tells your brain that it's time to be awake, which helps set your internal clock so that when nighttime comes, your body knows it's time to wind down. Even just 5 or 10 minutes outside with your morning coffee can make a difference. Take my friend Robert, for example. He's 68, and for years, he'd wake up feeling like he'd run a marathon in his sleep, as he put it. No matter how long he stayed in bed, he dragged through the day with heavy eyes and a foggy mind. Then he made just a few of the changes we've talked about, starting with his evening routine. He swapped his late-night spicy snacks for a small bowl of oatmeal with sliced banana, started taking a 15-minute walk after dinner, and began turning off the TV an hour before bed to read instead. Within 2 weeks, he told me, I wake up now feeling like my old self, before the word retirement even existed. No magic pills, no drastic overhauls, just small, consistent tweaks that added up to real rest. Now, let's move on to something that affects nearly everyone over 60. Medications and how they might be interfering with your sleep without you even realizing it. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please take a moment to do so and like our content. You know, sometimes the very things we take to help our health can unintentionally make it harder to get the rest we need. If you're like many people over 60, you might be on at least 1 or 2 medications, maybe for blood pressure, allergies, or even pain management. And while these medications do important work, some of them have side effects that disrupt sleep. For example, certain blood pressure medications, diuretics or water pills, and even some antidepressants can interfere with deep sleep or cause you to wake up frequently during the night. And then there are decongestants or allergy medications. Many of them contain stimulants that leave you feeling wired when you should be winding down. I'm not saying you should stop taking any prescribed medication. That's something you should only discuss with your doctor. But what you can do is ask if any of your medications might be affecting your sleep. Sometimes, simply adjusting the time you take them, like moving a pill from bedtime to morning, can make a big difference. Your doctor may also be able to recommend alternatives that are less likely to disrupt your rest. And while we're on the topic of nighttime interruptions, let's talk about something that becomes more common as we age: those middle-of-the-night trips to the bathroom. It's frustrating, isn't it? Just when you're finally in a deep sleep, your bladder decides it's time to wake up. You can reduce those disruptions without cutting back on fluids altogether. The key is when you drink. Try to get most of your hydration in earlier in the day, then taper off a couple of hours before bed. And watch out for drinks that act as diuretics, like coffee, tea, and alcohol, especially in the evening. But here's another trick. Elevate your legs for a little while in the evening. Sounds strange, right? But if you sit with your feet up for 20 or 30 minutes before bed, it helps your body process extra fluids before you lie down, which can mean fewer nighttime wake-ups. We've covered a lot, from optimizing your sleep environment to adjusting what you eat and drink, from moving more during the day to checking in with your medications. But here's the most important thing to remember. You don't have to change everything at once. In fact, trying to overhaul all your habits overnight is a surefire way to feel overwhelmed. Instead, pick one thing that feels manageable this week. Maybe it's swapping your evening snack for something gentler on your stomach. Maybe it's trying blackout curtains or a white noise machine. Small steps add up, and even one good night's sleep can make you feel years younger. And if you've tried all these tips and still wake up exhausted, it might be time to talk to your doctor about a sleep study. Conditions like sleep apnea are more common as we age and can leave you feeling drained no matter how long you're in bed. The good news is, once identified, they're often treatable, and the difference can feel like night and day. So here's my challenge for you tonight. Choose one change to make. Just one. Try it for a few nights and see how you feel. And if you've already found something that works for you, share it in the comments below. Your tip might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean being tired all the time. With a few thoughtful adjustments, you can wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to enjoy everything this stage of life has to offer. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up. It really makes a difference. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living your best life after 60. Here's to better sleep and brighter mornings ahead.